Japan, KBO, and MLB, I like the style of KBO the best. I like that they're looking to try and hit the 3-run homer.
Hey John, thank you so much for your time. Korean viewers might not be familiar with you, so can you briefly introduce yourself to all the Korean baseball fans?
All right, my name's 존샴비. They call me Boog. I was nicknamed after Boog Powell, who's a big redheaded baseball player in the 60s and 70s. So I've been calling Major League Baseball games since 2000. My first year as a broadcaster, I was with the Marlins in 1997. I was with the Marlins from 97 to 04. Also broadcast for the Atlanta Braves on TV for 3 years. And I've been full-time with ESPN since 2010. And I do games on both the radio and TV for ESPN. And I also do college basketball.
Wow. So you know Major League Baseball. I've seen your broadcasts over the years. But all of a sudden, now you have to call KBO리그 games. How did it come to you? What was the process of you finding out that you were going to give the opportunity to call KBO games?
I mean, I was told, I think maybe like a little bit, maybe about a week before the season started that there was a chance that we'd be doing it. I think a few days later I found out we were definitely going to be doing it. So I started digging in a lot and it just kind of went from there.
It must be tough for you to get prepared in such a short notice. The names, you got to know the players, the teams, and the cities, stadiums. It must be very difficult for you right now.
I think it's just the combination of everything that we don't control our own shots, which if you've ever done a baseball broadcast, and I know you know what this is like, but you just don't know what's going to be on the camera next. And it's a big part of presenting a TV broadcast is that the director, you direct towards shots to tell stories.
Right.
So you're a little bit at the mercy of that, but then also I really want to try and pronounce the names as best I can. I do. I don't want to mail that. I have to read them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just say it. I need to, at some point I probably will get, but I have to be reading them. So, we don't get in the States, probably get the lineups 3 hours before first pitch. Now we're getting them 30 minutes, 40 minutes before first pitch. The second game, we changed the game. So, and that would be challenging to me even if it were the major leagues, and I know that league like the back of my hand. So it's a lot of stuff. I mean, but it's still, I will tell you this, my one impression coming into this was I knew that guys from Korea could hit. I knew that.
All right, so you got to see some games. It's only been a week for you, a handful of games. But what was your first impression on the level of play, overall? Obviously, there are no fans in the stands, but overall operation of the league, what was your first impression?
So there's a lot of things. I'm bummed that, look, the first thing everybody talks about, from the players to people that cover it, the fan experience. The fans are so energized, and the cheerleaders, etc., and that's not there. So, I mean, one of the things that makes KBO, as best I can tell, is the fan experience, interacting and reacting to the play on the field, and that's not happening here. So that's kind of a bummer. I like the flair and the bat flips. I think we as Americans were probably over-covering that part of it. As I said, these guys can hit. I will tell you, I think that from a style standpoint, if you were to take Japan, KBO, and MLB, I like the style of KBO the best. I like that they're looking to try and hit the 3-run homer, and it's not so much small ball bunting, but there's more contact. So it's like MLB that they're looking to use the home run ball, but there's not as much swing and miss and the ball is in play. In terms of the level of play, I would say bullpens have been a little dicey. I would say as well, there's a lot of picking. We had a game the other night, and it was where a reliever got an 0-2 count on a guy, and it felt like no one had been 0-2 in like 4 innings.
Right.
And then the other thing I would say is defensively, it's not great.
Okay.
It's not great on a basic level.
Right.
But guys can hit, and we've done the Dinos a few times, so we've seen Sungbum Na and Yuji Yang, and I mean those two guys are players. I mean those two guys can play in the major leagues. To what level I don't know, but they can play in the majors.
Okay. Do you think this could KBO as a content has some value long-term wise in the United States? Is it too early to decide or tell at this point?
So I think it's too early to tell. I most certainly would not rule that out. I would not rule that out. But I think a week in and MLB isn't back much up in the air. But I wouldn't. The best I can say is I'm not going to sit here and tell you absolutely not. I think that there's definitely the chance that it has some long-term content value.
Last question. All the fans are really excited, and we don't get to see your broadcast, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But excited that you're presenting Korean baseball to greater American audience. So,
Yes.
someone as a presenter, what can you say to all the Korean fans that are excited about you and ESPN working together with KBO?
Be patient with us. We're trying our best to learn as fast as possible, and you may not love every single decision we make in terms of how we're presenting it, but I can just speak for me. I'm excited that I'm getting a chance to call baseball and talk about baseball, and it's been fun so far. And look, we get a chance to connect over it. You and I have met in person, and now getting a chance to talk. We got a chance, I guess it was the All-Star game in Cleveland and then in San Diego that we got a chance to interact. But, now getting a chance to talk to you in this manner and all the different people that we've engaged, whether it's Dan Kurtz, it's been a lot of fun. So we've enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll serve the fans.
All right, Jan, thank you so much for your time. I hope we could do this a couple of times more as we go through the season.
Absolutely.
And enjoy.
Whenever you want, you know it.
Okay. Enjoy KBO.
Thank you.
Okay.
자, 지난 한 주 동안 ESPN 중계를 통해서 이 KBO 리그 중계를 본 미국 야구 현지 팬들의 반응, 여러분들 궁금하시죠? 이번 영상에서는 미국 현지 팬들이 KBO 리그 경기를 보고 난 이후에 어떤 말을 하고 있고 또 어떻게 평가하는지 확인을 보는 시간을 가져보도록 하겠습니다. 안녕하세요 여러분, Dktv 누구겠습니까? 다니엘 김입니다. 정말 순식간에 지나간 한 주였습니다. 정말 오랜만에 야구를 볼 수 있어서 좋았는데, 또 여러분들 아시다시피 이번 시즌 같은 경우는 이제 ESPN을 통해서 여러분들 미국의 현지에 생중계로 또 재방도 했다고 하고요. 미국 팬들에게 이 KBO 리그가 중계가 되지 않았습니까? 그래서 이번 영상에서는 현지 팬들이 정말 KBO 리그 경기를 한 주 동안 쭉 보고 난 이후에 뭐라고 이야기를 하고 또 어떤 게 좋았고 어떤 게 좀 안 좋았는지 여러분들과 확인을 해보는 시간을 가져보도록 하겠습니다. 여러분들 첫인상이 정말 중요한 거 아니겠습니까? 자, 첫 번째로 소개시켜 드리고 싶은 글은 말이죠. Run the Bases 님께서 이 트위터에다가 올리신 글인데요. Are all bullpens horrible? KBO 리그 불펜 다 이렇게 형편없나요? 라고 그렇게 글을 올리셨는데, 뭐 전체적인 흐름을 봤었을 때 뭐 상당히 칭찬하는 글이긴 합니다만은, 일단 첫 문장은 이 불펜에 관련된 그런 질문이었습니다. 여러분도 어떻게 생각하십니까? 솔직히 이번 주말 경기를 봤었을 때 이 KBO 리그 전체적으로 불펜 뎁스에 대한 이 의문점이 드는 것은 분명하거든요. 현지 팬들도 이 KBO 리그 팀들의 이 불펜에 대한 조금 뭐라고 할까 실망감을 나타내는 그러한 아주 짧은 글이었습니다. 랜드리 스미스님께서 이 트위터에다가 올리신 글이에요. As a lifelong Kium Heroes fan, seeing 정후 리 display some more power in the first week has been exciting. 정말 오랫동안 키움 히어로즈 팬이셨다고 하는데, 이정우 선수가 시즌 초반에 막 장타력 있는 모습, 그리고 이번에 또 홈런 2개까지 치지 않았습니까? 그 모습이 상당히 익사이팅했다라고 그렇게 이야기를 하셨고요. 셀더팀님께서 트위터에다가 올리신 글인데요. League is absolutely great. Started to follow the KB due to Eric Thames, then stopped for a year, but I'm glad it is now on ESPN because I am hooked on it. KBO 리그 정말 최고다, 먼저 그렇게 말씀을 하셨고요. 에릭 테임스 때문에 KBO 리그를 조금 보다가 1년 동안 보지 않았는데, 이제는 ESPN을 통해서 볼 수 있어서 지금 다시 보기로 했다라고 그렇게 말씀을 하셨고, 일단 후킹이 됐다고 합니다. 여러분들 일단 첫인상은 좋았다라는 뜻이겠죠? 오델 푸어님께서 이 트위터에다가 올리신 글인데요. I'll be watching all games next week. My sleep schedule is completely ruined, but it's worth it. See you next week. 자, 다음 주도 모든 경기를 다 챙겨보겠다라고 그렇게 말씀을 하셨고요. 여러분들 아무래도 미국 현지 시간으로는 이 새벽에 이 경기가 중계되는 거 아니겠습니까? 그래서 이 수면 시간이 완전히 엉망이 됐다라고 하는데, 하지만 그래도 볼만하다라고 그렇게 말씀을 하셨고요. 다음 주에 또 봅시다라고 그렇게 이야기를 하셨습니다. 오델퍼님 또한 상당히 긍정적으로 KBO 리그를 평가하시는 것으로 보여지죠. 자, 마이클 울프님께서 트위터에다가 올리신 글인데요. I've been up every morning and watching and researching players. Easy to tell players enjoy playing baseball. Strategy of bullpen definitely comes into play라고 말씀을 하셨는데, 자, 일단 매일 아침 일찍 일어나서 경기를 다 챙겨보고 계시다. 그리고 선수들과 팀 관련해서도 리서치를 하면서 공부를 하시면서 보고 계시다라고 그렇게 말씀을 하셨습니다만은, 또 한편으로는 이 불펜 전략에 약간 문제가 있는 것 같다라고 그렇게 말씀을 하셨습니다. 오넬프님이 또다시 저한테 글을 보내주신 게 있는데요. I don't want to watch Samsung Lions anymore. They're the most boring team in the league. Disappointed with the play from Kia. I love the Dinos roster. 자, 일단 삼성 라이온스 경기는 조금 그만 봤으면 좋겠다. 좀 보링한 팀이다. 좀 재미없는 팀이다라고 말씀을 하셨는데, 첫 한 주 동안 삼성 경기가 좀 많이 현재 중계가 됐었고, 그리고 기아가 좀 초반에 분위기가 좋지 못해서 조금 실망스럽다. 하지만 NC 다이노스 로스터가 정말 마음에 든다라고 그렇게 평가를 하셨습니다. 자, 샘님께서 트위터에다가 올리신 글인데요. Some great play, some not so great play, good comebacks, home runs, and bat flips. Best of all is the emotion shown by the players. 좋은 플레이도 나왔고, 그렇게 뭐 좋지 않은 플레이도 나왔고, 그리고 역전승도 나왔고, 홈런도 나왔고, 배트 플립도 나왔다. 하지만 가장 마음에 들었던 부분은 선수들이 열정적으로 필드에서 뛰는 모습이었다라고 말씀을 하셨습니다. 아주 잘 정리를 해주신 것 같아요. 지난 한 주 동안 있었던 거를 아주 한 문장으로 깔끔하게 정리해주셨던 글인 것 같습니다. 그리고 세스페데스 패밀리 바베큐님께서, 이거 상당히 유명한 미국 현지 야구 팬들 사이에서 유명한 트위터 계정인데요. LG's right fielder is most handsome KBO dude I've ever seen. 이 최은성 선수의 사진과 함께 올렸는데 정말 최은성 선수가 잘생겼다라고 그렇게 글을 올리셨습니다. 자, 여러분들 보셨다시피 말이죠. 일단 첫인상은 합격인 것 같아요. 물론 모든 경기가 다 재밌진 않았습니다만은 뭐 전체적으로 봤었을 때 미국 현지 팬들은 일단 만족하고 있는 것으로 보이시고요. 그리고 첫 한 주 경기를 다 보신 야구 팬들 같은 경우에는 당분간 새벽에 일어나서 경기를 다 챙겨보겠다라고 그렇게 말씀을 하셨습니다. 자, 여러분들 KBO 리그 인기가 미국에서 조금씩 싹트고 있는데 시즌 내내 여러분들 계속 지속될 수 있을까요? 자, 여러분들의 의견 궁금하니까는요 밑에 댓글란에 올려주시고요. 유튜브로 보고 계신 분들은요 구독 버튼 눌러주시고요. DKTV는요 야구 상담소로 찾아뵙도록 하겠습니다.